So you didn't come up with the name at all then?
No.
So what does KBD actually stand for?
That is $1 million question.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't even know?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I know. I don't know if I want you to know.
Poly is just like the go-to factor that has really sustained it all.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the fitment is also something we really, really pride ourselves in.
Very true, because like my whole front end tweaked. It's still, I was able to manage to get it to actually look decent.
That same night, I started getting PayPal deposits, and I'm like, what the after that, like that same week, they make a Facebook post and it's like tagging all these people. Next thing you know, it's like, hey, here's like 100+ orders for this kit that we haven't even made. It's literally
Holy
like,
welcome back to the #1 drift podcast on YouTube, presented by Enjuku Racing. My name is Dawson, and today we have
the Polygod.
Hell yeah. KBD, baby.
Yeah.
All of y'all I know are screaming in the comments a little bit right now.
Already.
I don't give a shit. KBD's best. Anyways, before we get into the podcast, look below the video. Make sure that subscribe button is not still red. If it is, go ahead and click that and hit the bell notification while you're at it so you never miss an episode. And don't forget the BUMZ glasses giveaway until the end of March. Literally all you got to do, drop a comment, drop a like, and you'll be entered each week for a new giveaway. Yeah, and actually, I just got word from Enjuku that you are going to be distributing through them.
Yeah. So that's crazy, man. They were one of the first people that I hit up when we started KBD back in like 2016, 2017. And things just kind of didn't fully develop until just recently. And now, they send me a nice low check. So thank you.
Yeah, I was talking to, whenever I was talking to AK, getting this stuff set up, like I was talking about KBD and like how, if that was going to interrupt anything, which it didn't, there was no reason for it. But they had mentioned that they originally had set up something for KBD, but he was unsure what the circumstance was that cut it off. But he was like, I'm going to make sure that we do something about that and get it worked out. So, and he just emailed me the other day about it. I was like, no fucking way. That's sick.
And it feels good because to me, I feel like Enjuku has been around for so long, right? And it's almost like a validation for me. Like, it's like, hey, our stuff is good enough to be listed on their site. I'm in.
Oh yeah, and especially because they're very against the shipping cost and stuff for body kits. So like, you're not really going to find many body kits on their website because of that reason. Yeah. So the fact that yours is on there is A+ to that. That's insane. All right. Well, before I guess we go diving into all the questions and stuff, let's get introduction on who you are, where you came from, what you do.
Drive, for sure. Like so I'm Irving. I am the Polygod, aka the D in KBD. We've been running KBD for like 7 years now. 7 years. And it's been fantastic. It's been a big learning curve.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been a big learning curve, but it's been a lot of fun. And being able to come out with all these kits and see them, just being absolutely beat to shit on a track has been really fantastic. I genuinely enjoy every aspect of what I do.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. I would too. You completely changed the game for body kits. So that's something to be proud of for sure. Well, tell me a little bit about like before cars, before KBD, before all of this. Who were you? What was your hobbies? Like, what were you doing?
For sure. Yeah. So I am originally from New York City. Moved out here I've always been into cars, right? Always since I was a kid. I was, the little, I had the C4 Hot Wheels. Not Hot Wheels, Power Wheels.
Yeah.
I had the C4 Power Wheels, and that was really like how I got interested in cars. And I was the kid that always took apart the remote and never really put it back together correctly. I was that guy. So I was always into tinkering. And so I got my first car. And of course, first thing I do is start trying to modify it, put a little cold air intake, ended up blowing that up within like a week of ownership. And then that's how I really learned to work on cars. It's like, hey, I have no choice. I just spent every penny that I had buying this car, and now it is sitting here, and now I need to fix it and get it running again.
Yeah, stop letting it just sit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bad part of us car guys.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's
procrastination is hell. Okay, so so from a very young age, you were into cars.
Yeah, very young age. I was actually originally into like the DSMs, like the Mitsubishi Eclipses, Eagle Talents, and all that stuff. And so, you know, cheap all-wheel drive turbocharged car. Really, really, like, what's not to love about that, right?
Of course.
So I was the guy that was just, you know, trying to drag race and put the big whole set turbo out the junkyard in it and all that kind of stuff, you know. I actually hadn't really gotten involved with drifting until very late last year, actually. So that was that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was nice to see you finally get into your own car and stuff. But we'll definitely getting into that. So this you said the C4 Power Wheels.
Yeah.
What year was this? Hold on.
Man, I'm old.
Because I don't remember when they started making those things.
I want to say like mid 90s is probably around the time where I got that.
So they had a C4 Corvette.
Yeah.
That's what. Oh my God, that's awesome. Do you have a picture of that somewhere?
I can find one because I was just about to say I was actually on eBay probably like a month or two ago trying to find they have them out there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, if I can find one that's not like overly priced, because anything that's got a nostalgia to it. Sorry about that. Anything that's nostalgic is really like
valuable.
Yeah. So if I can find a good deal on a C4 Power Wheels, I am getting that.
Dude, tag them. If you got one, let us know. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, well, so you said what was that first car that you started modding?
It was a 1996 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that was your first car ever?
Yeah, that was my first car.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I just kind of knew
that.
Well, I can't say that on the podcast. We don't advocate that kind of stuff anymore. But if you've read my captions, you probably know how.
We're going to talk about those captions later. Those are hilarious. Okay, so what were like some of the first mods that you did to that car?
So I got the car. The very first mod was just a cold air intake. I of course, had to put a system in it. So I had the little plexiglass box with the 4 tweeters and the 210s in it. And it was actually, I bought a stick shift, but I didn't know how to drive a stick shift. So, awesome. The first, the second mod was driver mod, but it took a little while, and that's why I blew the car up first, because I didn't really know how to drive a stick. Yeah. And I did like a third to first downshift or something. Ooh. And just
that's a big no-no.
Yeah, that's all it took.
Especially in all-wheel drive. Good God.
Yeah. So
damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said subs. You were one of the subs guys?
Yeah, of course, dude, man.
I put one 10-inch sub in my first car, and I left it in there for maybe 2 months. And I was like, fuck this shit. Get out of my car.
Really?
It gives me headaches from hell, man. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I was just never one that could do audio stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's definitely a cultural thing. Like, that's how,
definitely
people... like in New York, that's like how people knew you had it, right? It's like, oh, he's doing good. He's bumping over there. So.
Right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay. So I guess branching off from that, the Evo, what was was there any mod on that car that you did that you kind of look back on now that was probably very cheesy and stupid? Because everyone, their first car, everyone's got one.
I had like a knockoff fiberglass kit on it. I had the fiberglass kit.
How dare you?
Yeah, right. I had the fiberglass kit. I had the wing on there. Sorry, my dog's over there. I had the fiberglass kit. I had the wing. I had I don't remember what models, but I had like some end keys on it. Okay. And but I didn't lower it. So it was kit low with basically stock
the fender
space.
gap.
Yeah, man. So that was probably like the worst one. And then I had the like the chrome taillights, the chrome housing taillights, like the
really
type
cheesy
stuff.
Ones.
Yeah. Yep. So I was kind of a ricer. You know, I'm not afraid to admit it.
Clear tails are a vibe, but they got to be the right ones.
Yeah. So I mean, that, you know, first car. Right after that, I've owned like 20 something of those exact same car, just different years or different. You know, maybe front wheel drive turbo or all wheel drive turbo. I've had just NA ones, which are slow as hell. So yeah, I mean, I've always been passionate about the platform, but they're hard to keep running, especially once you start, you know, like I said,
it's a bitchy.
Yeah, exactly. It's
always bitching at you. Oh yeah. The one that embarrasses me is I did, for one, like the silly stickers on the back that everyone did. Oh
no.
But I was so ignorant that I did like zoomy stickers and like all the like skate type stickers instead of actual car brands and shit. So that was the first embarrassing thing. And then do you know what hydro dipping is?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God. So the concept of hydro dipping is really cool, but I had a Sentra SER Spec V. Okay. Now, it's a good Sentra.
Yeah.
But it's still a fucking Sentra.
Yeah.
So I took all of the trim pieces out and did hydro dipping on them where it was see-through carbon fiber. So it was like the gray and then whatever color was underneath could show through too. Yeah. And I did just black so it looked like normal carbon fiber. I swear to God, that was the cheesiest fucking thing I have ever done. I'll never touch that shit again. It's got to be like for an engine cover or to hydro dip a wheel or something like that. That's cool. Yeah. But yeah, no, don't ever do that. Don't paint your trim either. Oh, God, that shit's hideous.
Yeah. And please, I don't know if this is still a thing, but don't gut the back half to save like 10 pounds because you think it's a race car mod. Like, please don't do that. Have you ever done that?
The back half of my Z is all interiors gone, but I didn't do it for that reason. It's just I had mismatched panels and stuff, and I just didn't feel like dealing with it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to take the spare tire out, so I was like taking a bunch of stuff out, get the spare tire out, and I was like, you know what? Let's just take the rest of this junk out.
Yeah, and if it's like a caged car, right? It's like, all right, I understand.
And but I knew that was going to happen eventually, so
okay.
So we'll go ahead and plan ahead.
Allowed, you know. I just like, man, like if this is your daily driver and you just have nothing back there and just all the wires exposed, like just save yourself
mine's
the
not even
hassle.
street legal. Fuck that.
Yeah,
I do wish I would have kept the interior sometimes because I do like a full interior drift car. It's just something. It's about a vibe. It's a vibe. It's for sure. Different, man. Okay, so the Duraflex kit, was it a Duraflex or just some knockoff bullshit kit?
Yeah, I don't even remember what it was, but I'm probably a Duraflex kit.
All right, so when did you venture into kind of making your own kit, your first kit?
So as far as like with the KBD stuff?
Yeah, or not necessarily that, like just the first kit you ever even made, because I'm sure that one wasn't even a concept of business at the time, right?
Yeah, so I worked for a fiberglass manufacturer before KBD. And so like I would like hoods. I was making a lot of different hoods where, I mean, not making, because essentially all I was doing was taking like one style hood and making it fit a car that didn't have that. So like, you know, like a top secret Supra hood, taking that and then molding it into like a Lexus SC300 hood and then making that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's originally like what I was doing. And then that's actually how I found out about KBD, because KBD has actually been around since like the 70s. Like the actual KBD brand has been around since 74. What? Yeah. Nobody really knows that. And
holy shit.
Yeah. So but it was just a super small, like 3 guys working out of their garage kind of thing. It wasn't like, it wasn't like a full developed brand or anything like that. You know, they were basically doing private label products for other companies. Yeah. The lady that was running it at the time was kind of over it, you know, and just wanted to get out. And so we stepped in, and there you go.
So what is so you didn't come up with the name at all then?
No.
So what does KBD actually stand for?
That is $1 million question.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't even know?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I know. I don't know if I want you to know.
Keeping secrets.
Yeah. So KBD actually originally stood for the three guys that were working together in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's just the first letter of their first names, and there it is.
Holy
and then
shit. That's interesting.
Yeah. So we kept the branding just because it's like, man, it's been around since the 70s. Even if nobody's really heard of it, it's like, you know, we were originally just going to do only selling to distributors and just letting them run it. And then we ended, you know, it ended up evolving, but we just figured we'd keep the name, and it's like, hey, you were dealing with KBD here. Now I'm your new point of contact. You can deal with me, and it's still KBD kind of thing, you know?
Right.
So, but now like I'll just make stuff up, right? It's like, oh, it can't be destroyed, or
that's actually perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Or like
nobody will ever know.
Yeah. So
we'll know now, but
yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. But yeah, so KBD is kind of stands for whatever you want it to be.
That's awesome. Okay. So what was the first full kit that you produced yourself as the owner of KBD?
So I had a Lexus SE300. Okay. And it's funny because that's how all these products were originally developed, right? I had an SE300. The first kit that I made was an SE300 kit. Mm. And then I had a Miata, and I went ahead and made a Miata kit, you know, and I got a 350Z. So I went ahead and made more 350Z kits. So
it wasn't like a strategic choice on what kit to go with, right?
No, not at all. It was kind of
more selfish decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and also it's like, well, if I want it, there's probably other people that want it as well. And this was, I mean, when, like 2016, we were still like, first thing I did was try to sponsor forums for parts that we did have, right? And like I was telling you, we had a lot of products that we were making for other companies, and it's like, hey man, like there's no reason you're the only person that can sell this, like, so we can go ahead and sell these parts too. And so I just got on the forums and started, you know, on my350z.com and what's the other one, like Nico Club or something, right? And all these other forums, and just started trying to see what people, I did go in and ask people what they wanted, but it was kind of a thing where it's like, okay, I have a Lexus car, so I'm going to go on Lexus Club or clublexus.com and see what parts they want made for my car kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that would save you a shit ton of money too. That way you ain't got to find somebody. Cause like, I'm sure is that actually hard, finding someone to just let you use their car?
It's harder than people think.
That's what I thought.
Because, you know, my whole thing is like, hey man, I can give you free kits. I can give you some cash. I can, you know, whatever you want, just let me hold on to your car. But it is, you know, R&D takes time.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I can find cars, but it's harder to find cars where the owner is okay with. I tell them straight up, look, don't call me, don't message me, you know, just like the kit will be done when it's done, and I will reach out to you.
Right.
Versus, hey man, what's the status on my car? Like, you know, just want to make sure you guys still have it. It's like, yes, we still have it, bro. Like, it's fine. Like, can you send me a picture of it? It's like, man, like that. So finding someone that's okay with kind of trusting the process, and you know, a lot of these cars, they're everybody's babies, right? Like they want their cars taken care of, and they want to make sure that, you know, it's going to be safe, and that we're not, you know, turning up the system and just taking it for cruises or anything like that. So it's a little harder to find cars that the owners trust us with it. Mm-hmm.
How long do you say, like, because I know it's going to vary based off of kit and stuff like that, but how long of a period on average do you usually, from start to finish, have a kit made?
If we're talking like a front bumper, rear bumper, side skirts, probably now we're so that's something that new products are like the lifeblood of the company for us, right?
Right.
So we're constantly trying to make that process more efficient. It used to take, honestly, probably like 6 to 8 months. Right now, we're probably doing it in 3 to 4 months, and we're trying to bring that down to it. If we can make one new kit every month, like, you ain't gonna see me, man.
That'd be fire, dude.
I'm gonna be somewhere, by a beach. Like, you're not gonna see me at the track. I'm gone.
Right. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess, what is the next kit that you are focused on? Because I know you're doing a 240 kit right now. You're doing another Miata kit. What is another chassis specifically that you want to focus on coming up that you haven't necessarily done yet?
Okay, so this is always a hot topic for us, right? Everybody wants to know why we don't make AE86 parts or FRS parts, or hey man,
has them?
C5, C6, Skylines, JZXs, all these different platforms. Everybody wants a kit for their car, and believe me, like, if I could, I would.
Yeah.
But it's a time-consuming process. It's a very expensive process. You know what I mean? You think about having to staff people for 3 to 4 months just to make the molds, and that's not including actually injecting the parts and shipping them, and all that gets involved in the final product once the mold is done. We're talking 3 to 4 months of work just to have a finished mold. So yeah, right now we're doing the S13, we're doing the NB, we have the, what's it called? The SN95 Mustang.
Okay. Yeah.
So all those should be done.
Dude, that kit's lit some fucking flames in the Mustang world. Oh my God.
Yeah. Which is awesome. I mean, I want that. Regardless of the reaction, I want a reaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this year, we're really going to go and get heavy into the Corvettes, man. I really want to make C5, C6, maybe even C4. Like, for some reason, there's a lot of searches for C4 body kits.
Really?
Yeah, it's annoying because talking with my team, and it's like, hey, everything says we need to make a C4 kit first. And I'm like, brother, do you realize the C6 owners will kill me if I make a C4 kit first? And it's like,
that doesn't make sense.
But the data is there, man. The data is there.
Who the fuck out there is driving C4s right now?
And why do you guys want a body kit for it?
Oh my God. I'm not going to lie, though. If you do one, the kit that's on LZ's C4, that shit fucks, dude. The RB25 C4 Corvette he has, it's that Drift HQ green. Oh my God. That car is nuts,
you know what? Maybe
dude.
It's his fault, bro. Maybe it's his fault. Because I'm looking at the data. I'm like, this just goes against everything I see, right? When I go to the racetrack and I go to these drift events, I don't see C4s. I see C5s. Never. I see C6s, and the ballers are out there in C7s and C8s now.
Yeah. To me, I would think that, like, if you're buying a C4, it's probably because you can't afford the better chassis. Like, let's be honest, the C4 is not the ideal chassis.
Yeah.
If you have the option for a C5 or C6, it's just, there's no argument there.
I get hit up occasionally, usually by like the same 3 to 5 guys. Hey man, when are you gonna make a Z31 kit? Nobody makes a Z31 kit, and it's a Z. Like, this is a legendary car. Blah blah blah. It's like, there's a reason nobody makes a kit. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that certain markets aren't developed.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I love FCs, I love FDs. The FB is like,
I've seen maybe one in person my entire life.
It's like, it's the same thing, right? Like, I understand the pedigree of the car and everything else like that, but for us, volume is key, and it's same reason why I like JZX90, JZX100, all that stuff, right? Love the cars. I love the cars.
Yeah.
But there's only so many stateside, And like, let's be real, like, do all JZX90 guys want to have the same exact kit on their car?
Absolutely not.
So it's like, well, then where's my market?
You're like shooting yourself in the foot, because if you make that kit, you also got to make another style kit for it and another style kit for it, so that there's still the variety, and everyone, like you said, isn't running the same kit.
And there's the opportunity cost, right? Like, I can make a kit for the JZX and sell 25 of them, right? If I'm lucky. Or I could make a S550 Mustang kit. And it's like, those are everywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whether you drift or not, they're everywhere.
S197 honestly is becoming like the go-to chassis for it. Yeah. It's just, it had all the quirks worked out for the S95.
Yeah, so it's tough, but yeah, I definitely want to focus on the Corvettes. And then you heard it here first. We are gonna make a 370Z Nismo V2 and Poly kit. So that should be good. That should be a good one for us.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the Nismo kits do pretty well. I've never been a big fan of them myself. They look like, especially on the 350Z, the front bumper is like, has a biggest long nose to me. Dude, it's so weird. That's when you did the Vertex kit, I fucking flipped. Yeah. I was like, this is the one. Thank God.
Yeah. A lot of people were asking for that kit for years, but you know, again, the opportunity cost, and we have, the 350Z, if you go on the 350Z page on our website, that's like, we have the most products for that platform on the site. And it's like, do I really want to make another Z kit? And
but I mean,
it worked out.
As well, I guess.
So
people ask.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. And if you're still bitching, buy the right car then. Let's tell you.
We'll get to it, right? We're gonna get to it. It's just like I said, it's what makes more financial sense at the end of the day, regardless of what I feel about the car, or regardless of what you feel about the car. If it's like, hey, this is a limited production car, only made for 2 or 3 years, that makes it a lot more difficult for us. Whereas, like, for example, the SC300, right? It's from 1992 to 2000. SC300, SC400, all of it fits. You know, it's all the same.
Right.
Whereas, and the NA, right? It's like, what is it? Like a 5-year window, and the Z 5-year window. So it's like, when I have something where it's like, okay, mathematically, if I can capture 2% of this market, I'm good. I'm at least going to break even on this product.
Holy shit.
You know what I mean?
Only 2%?
No, I mean, obviously,
like that's a rough number.
Yeah, well, it depends, right? Like, we make Jeep fender flares, and it's like, okay, if I capture 0.1% of the Jeep market, I'm good.
I didn't know you did Jeep stuff. That's got to be like, do people really like that for Jeep?
Oh, dude,
that's got to come in really handy.
Yeah, so we had to build like a whole other machine just to have Jeep fender flares being pushed out every day. So that's like, that's one thing where it's like, hey, that runs. You clock in, that's all you're doing is just those Jeep flares. Yeah. And then over here, it's like, okay, we'll make some Z kits, and we'll make a S13 kit, and we'll do, whatever else we gotta get made and shipped out. So
okay, hell yeah. Was at one point KBD like doing actually selling fiberglass kits? I heard that somewhere, but I feel like that would have had to been way back before you.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
but I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, the only thing that I can think of is I did make, and again, right, it's like, I want something that isn't there for my car, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make it, right? So I made 4 carbon fiber grill inserts for the Lexus SEs, and I think there's only like 1 or 2 that haven't been destroyed in either like crashes or at the track or whatever. So, but that's about the only thing that I can think of.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, damn, that's what I thought. I don't know who the fuck told me that.
I don't know. That's misinformation, bro. You gotta.
Yeah, exactly. So I get it from the source, baby. Okay, so the surface. You talking about the surface of it? I know, like, to prep on, you got to do Ajax bleach and stuff to get all that chemical shit off of there. What is like? I guess if there are some of those little imperfections, like little dents or dimples in the mold that just, there's a bubble there, an air bubble. Is it okay to fill that stuff with Bondo, or is a certain type of Bondo to fill it?
Yeah.
Or
so as far as when I'm speaking about like the surface, it's more of the chemical finish on it and not having. So we have to obviously. The molds are injected, right? So we have to have something coated in the mold so that it doesn't lock up, right? It doesn't just seize in there. And that's what you have to clean off before you spray primer or paint or whatever it may be on it. As far as the actual surface itself, like let's say you get like a nick or something, you can fill that in. But I mean, honestly, like that's what the warranty is for. Like, so if there's something where it's like, beyond what you would find reasonable, it's like, let me know, man. There's so many things that we cover with our warranty.
That's cool.
That, like I want to provide the service that I would expect. And so if you buy a product and you get it and it's like, hey man, like there's a small crack here, or hey, like this corner looks like it's shaved off. These are still human made parts and humans cause errors. And so maybe my guy is cleaning off the excess material and he nicks a corner, right? And it's like, oh, look, he can't really tell if he got too much of it off or anything like that. Send me a picture. We'll get you taken care of. I had one guy.
Stop running the reviews and comments. Just fucking DM them.
I had one guy, he left his parts like in his yard or something to unfold, and he had like a pit bull or something, and the dog just went and just started like chewing at the bumper, and he chewed like a small little corner off, and I'm like, yo, make sure the dog is okay first, right?
And then, for sure.
And then just cut it up, send me a picture, I'll get you taken care of, I'll get you a new one, right? It's not something that is our fault, but I just want everybody to be happy and love the product, right? And just like,
it's you doing your job as a business owner, just making sure that your customer base is satisfied.
Yeah. I mean, like how many times have you gotten a part and there's like, they didn't package it right, or there's some kind of issue and you're like, oh, like all that joy that you originally had as you opened it up, just kind of, it's like, oh man, like the turbo housing's like gouged up right here and it doesn't affect performance at all, right? But it's just like, it's just such a downer. And I don't want to be the reason that anybody feels that way.
Right.
So,
okay. So actually I wanted to, what is the reason for the cut up thing? Like, because you don't actually send the kit back, right? You
just cut it up. That's exactly why, right? It's like, the standard process, and I feel like we've done a really good job with it. And I feel like I've seen other companies kind of adopting the same principle where it's like, man, I mean, these are, even though we roll them up and we package them in a little envelope kind of thing, like even though we pack them as small as possible, shipping is still expensive.
Yeah.
And if there's an issue, like I just don't feel like you should have to pay for shipping for something that's not a good product or something that has some kind of issue, regardless of what it is, right? Regardless of whether you're super stanced and you just burn the bottoms off, like, there's nothing I can do with it. There's nothing I can do with that kit once if we got it back.
Yeah.
So why have you pay the shipping, or why spend the money to get that kit and then spend the money to have it go off to the dump? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, hey, just cut it up. That way I know, because we also don't want people to have bad product out there. And that's, that
was my next question is, have you ever ran into anyone that's tried to cheat the system and
all the time,
sell the kits instead of cut them up?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's, there's always going to be people looking to game any system, right? And I'm all for it. Like I understand.
Hustle's a hustle.
I ain't mad at it, but I also don't want it happening to me.
Yeah.
So, I've had people cut up their bumper, get a new one, and say, oh, hey, this has this issue, or whatever it may be, and then try to send me a picture of their old bumper that they cut up. And it's like, nah, man, we have the same file right here. Can you please send a new one? You know? So there's always people looking to game it, or I've seen people sell like, we used to only have you cut it in half. And then I started seeing people
zip tying them back
up. And it's like, man, like, yeah. So it doesn't look good on me. It doesn't look good on the car. So it's like, you know what? Now
it's a bad representation of the business at that point.
Exactly. So it's like, you know what? Just cut it up into 3 or 4 pieces, depending on what the product is. And that way I know, hey, this is not going to be resold. This isn't, you know, nobody's going to try to pawn it off. I've seen people try to pawn it off as, hey, this will still have a warranty and you can get a new one too. And that, you know, that's like the one thing that we don't cover is if you didn't buy it direct from either us or a dealer and have some kind of proof of purchase that this is your kit, we can't warranty it. That, and like I've had people like, hey man, my whole body kit flew off my car. Can you just ship me a new one? It's like, you sure it flew off, or is it just in the garage and you're just trying to come up? You know what I mean? So, and again, I ain't mad at it, but I'm not gonna accept it either.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't blame you there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll branch off of that. We're done, not the negative shit no more. Okay, so what was one of the kits that kind of, I guess, really set the company in motion?
Okay, so here's a story that I freaking love, right? And I, you know, again, I don't come from a background in drifting. I don't come from a background with any kind of like S chassis. I've never owned a 240. Hell, I never owned a Nissan until I got the Z.
Right.
So that scene was so foreign to me. But a lot of people, you know, and like with the SCs and the Miatas and stuff, it was a lot of like, oh, the Stance kids, you know, the TikTok Miata owners. You see my stuff everywhere there, right? But you know, it's like, hey, like this is more for like the guys that are, you know, really low and they can take the driveway and not worry about breaking their kit kind of thing.
Constantly pulling it on and off a trailer.
Exactly.
Like
so that's where it was originally kind of like, hey, here's the benefit of this over fiberglass. And then I started playing Xbox. I started playing Forza Horizons, right? And I started playing with just like random people from all over, you know, just different backgrounds and different areas. And this kid, Hunter Chenry, I probably butchered your name, my bad, bro. But Hunter and all his friends out in the East Coast, they were all like participated in like Club Loose events and stuff like that.
Okay.
And we're just BSing on Forza Horizons, and they're like, hey man, like how much to make an S13 kit? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to play on this video game real quick, you know?
I'm trying to shut my brain off right now.
Yeah. And so it's like this whole, we're in the Xbox party chat and we're just, you know, having a blast. And they kind of like peer pressured me a little bit into just like spitting some number out. And so I was like, look, man, if you can get me like 20 guys to give me, and this is, I was so undervaluing the product back then that I was like, look, man, you give me like 20 guys at like $600 shipped or so, like some super low number.
Shit.
Yeah. Cause I was just playing Xbox. I wasn't thinking anything about it.
You're
so
totally caught off guard.
Just threw some, like literally just threw some numbers out there. And that same night I started getting PayPal deposits and I'm like, what the fuck? So then after that, like that same week, they go and they make a Facebook post and it's like tagging all these people. And next thing you know, it's like, hey, here's like 100+ orders for this kit that we haven't even made. It's literally like,
holy shit.
Hey man, here's cash. Now get to cooking. So
they said, fuck your 20 people. We got you way more.
So, the S13 B Sport kit was like the game changer for me as far as that goes. And that's what really launched it into the drift scene. And that's where I was like, holy hell, like this is a really like that they could really benefit from. Yeah. So it went from just random cars that I was making parts for, right? Because it's like, oh, I own these cars, so I'm going to make parts for it, to how are we selling so so much off of an Xbox party chat.
Dude, yeah. That's insane that the whole idea of branching into drifting came from fucking Xbox.
Yeah. And now it's like
you can make a business out of anything. Quit complaining, dude.
That's right. There's opportunities everywhere. You just got to be open to it and take the risk, you know?
Go to your local coffee shop. How could you have a better coffee shop? Simple shit, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah. So, I mean, and now, you know, like I'm building a drift car and now I'm sponsoring all these drift series and trying to do all that kind of stuff. So it's crazy. And it literally just changed the company overnight.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
does it still kind of remain one of the best selling kits?
Yeah. We still sell that kit all the time. And that's why we're doing like another S13 kit, right? Because we get a lot of not so positive feedback about the styling on the Sylvia kit. And it's like, you know what? You guys helped us become who we became. So now let's go back and let's give you guys something you guys really, really want.
Right.
So
right. Well, do you think that KBD would kind of be anywhere near where it is now if you didn't kind of nail down that formula? Like, let's say you were just making like OEM style poly bumpers and stuff like that, because they're super fucking thin. They just rip apart basically. Yeah. So do you think the company would be anywhere near where it's at if you were doing stuff like that? I know that's probably a hard question.
That's a hard question, and it varies, right? Because are we talking about financially, or are we talking about the brand itself? The brand image, right? I mean, how many countless manufacturers make OEM style parts that it's like, oh, you just bought it because, you know, somebody like you hit something with your daily and you're just looking for the cheapest, excuse me, you're looking for the cheapest replacement that you could just throw on and call it a day, right? There's tons of those companies. Nobody knows what their names are, you know? So we have this concept where we want to make something where it's like, hey, we're going to sell 1 million of this bumper, right?
Right.
So we have that dream where it's like, we're just going to price it extremely low and we're going to just dominate the market here. So that's something we want to do. But the reality of it is it doesn't have the same cultural impact as what we currently
doesn't create that FOMO factor.
Yeah.
Too. That's the only reason I asked that is because it seems like if you genuinely focus on the quality of something in the long run, although you can't really see it, it does seem to pay off the best as far as brand identity, as far as income, as far as all of that. Because like if I wanted to just do this podcast and like I didn't set all this crap up and I had fucking iPhones up to our mouth, like nobody would give a flying fuck or know who I am. Yeah. So like I put in the work to make sure the quality of the podcast is correct, and that seems to gain a little bit more attraction and more reliable fan base.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I could see how that plays into the kits and just KBD in general. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's honestly the culture impact is so cool to see. And you know, like it really has been life-changing for myself, and it's also been life-changing for other people that have tried to emulate what we do, right? Now I see all these different kinds of companies trying to fold their stuff to ship it out, right? And it's like, that's so cool to have that impact where it's like these business practices are now being implemented by other companies. You know, the cut up thing. I'm seeing other companies implement the same thing where it's like, we don't want to pay the cost of shipping, so we'll just have somebody.
Holy shit, that's smart.
yeah, exactly. So like being able to have those impacts has been so cool to see.
Hell yeah. Okay. Do you ever see, as far as the cut up thing, finding a different way to verify that? Like, whether it was some type of software, they got to submit a photo through this specific route, and it kind of like with AI, dude, like I'm sure there's some way to make it scan the photo, make sure it's not already in the database that you've received, and like kind of streamline it for you? Is that something you've thought about?
Yeah. So honestly, we're always working on different ways to make everything more efficient, right? And we use ChatGPT very, very heavily. Nice. We've used it to create SOPs, right? For just random things throughout the office or whatever it may be. We use it for help with coding on the website or trying to implement different things for Google AdSense and trying to, just perfect different areas. And now it's funny that you say that, because now it used to be like, hey, you have to either DM me or email me or whatever it may be to get this process going. And now you can actually just log onto the website and you just submit some pictures, submit your info, your purchase info and everything else. And we actually do have a system that double checks that, hey, this isn't the exact same image, or, I'll see people will try to like flip the image. And it's like, bro, it's still the same picture, and we can detect
it's still
that
got
now.
the same file name,
it's
bro.
Like, bro, I see your flip-flop right there. I see your flip-flop and I see the crack in the concrete in the back. Like, it's the exact same image, bro. Yeah. Like, and if I can see it, AI can definitely see it. So it's just interesting that you bring that up, because we're definitely leaning heavy into that.
Okay, so with how many like companies are on the market, and besides the whole poly aspect, the formula, all of that stuff, what has been a key factor for you of keeping your company in the spotlight?
Man, I mean, honestly, the polyurethane itself is such a giant differentiator that it's hard to ignore it, right? Whether people are talking about how it ships, or whether people are talking about, on track impacts, or whether you're talking about just getting up your driveway and not having to worry about it, So it's such a differentiator that's really where we focus on. But even if you put all that to the side, I would say our kits fit better than 99% of the kits that are being made, especially that are being mass manufactured in any level. Unless you're having someone come in and like do their own kit, like our stuff fits so good right out of the box. We try to have all the factory tabs. We try to have, we even have little dimples along the front, where the holes are going to like, okay, it's probably going to be like around here, just depending on what kind of bolt size you use or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a little, that's every kit though.
Yeah. So I would say the fitment is a really big differentiator. And that's why like in the original logo, it's like parts that fit, right? Like we were talking earlier about the new logo over here versus the old logo, the circle one. That, and then our shipping rates, man. Like I said, I used to work for another body kit company beforehand, and I would see the shipping rates that they would quote, and then I would also see the shipping rates that they were getting. Right. And it's like, this is still going freight, or this is still going to be an expensive shipment, but I mean, they bake in a lot of little profit margin on top.
Every little piece has a profit margin. Yeah,
exactly.
That's crazy.
So
poly is just like the go-to factor that has really sustained it all.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the fitment is also something we really, really pride ourselves in.
That's very true, because like my whole front end tweaked as fuck.
Yeah,
like it's two front now, which is a little bit better, but like my headlights don't fit right. My fenders don't fucking fit right. Hood don't fit right. And it's still I was able to manage to get it actually look decent. Because it's already properly fit.
Appreciate that. Yeah. And it's funny because it's a little the company's a little contradictory at some points, because we tell people, hey, look, use as much of your factory mounting points as possible. And you're not gonna have any like issues about people complaining about like, oh, it's sagging or something like that. It's like, well, yeah, you don't have anything supporting it, right? You won't treat a fiberglass kit like you would treat a polyurethane kit. So you can't treat a polyurethane kit like you would treat a fiberglass kit. Right. You can't just throw two zip ties on and expect it to be perfect. It's just a different material.
That's why I preach about brace the fucking kit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, why you're bitching about sagginess? Throw an arm, I have the whole body kit off right now because I'm trying to prime it, paint it with what time I have, And you can see all of the little aluminum arms that I have just poking out of. They look really stupid with no kit on there, but like it's every corner has a bracing point so that it doesn't flop around. Yeah, it's that simple.
Yeah, and you know, I was saying it's a little contradictory because we try to have people use all the factory stuff. But our market is drift cars. And I didn't realize until I got my Z and I'm trying to fit this kit. And it's like, yo, where the hell is the factory metal on these things? Because it's just been caved in. And it's like, oh, we'll just throw an over fender and not worry about it. It's like, okay, so we're missing 60% of the factory mounting points on the car. So even if the bumper has all of the factory mounting points, the car doesn't. Yeah. And so that's where, you know, the bracing and stuff like that, little tabs come in handy. And if you do have like what's it called when it's just like when you have a tube front end or a tube rear end or anything like that, it's like, bro, just tack weld a couple little pieces of metal and you're done. Literally a little T-shape like this. Yep. Tack weld it on and there's your bumper support. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's
I did all rib nuts and bolts and stuff. I don't have a welder, so that's why. But yeah. And then it's a little bit easier to take off too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's simple, man. You just brace it a little bit. Yeah. It's crazy. People overthink that shit. Yeah. Okay, so you branch off of that a little bit. Yeah. You tend to have a very unique style of marketing. Tell me about your style of marketing from your perspective.
Okay. Yeah. So, if you follow the KBD pages, you know that 99% of our posts have some kind of little like rhyme in it. And that started off, I mean, I've always been into hip hop and like even in high school, like I would go to a music studio and just try to record some stuff and, just that's cool. lay some bars down. Yeah. So that's always been a thing. And so when we started trying to, because again, right, KBD was only selling straight to distributors and not going direct to consumer. And they didn't have like no social media presence, no nothing, right? So I just started going on there and it was on my personal page. So I was doing my personal thing and just talking about stuff that I knew. And it's so funny because the captions have changed dramatically. I still talk about some of the old stuff to this day. Yeah. But like before it was all about, hey, I'm using pirated software to work on these parts, and after this I'm gonna go sell crack or something, just like
the most vulgar descriptions ever.
Really rough stuff. And now I'm talking about, still illegal stuff like, hey, we're doing tax evasion over here. Like we're still talking.
Who's not? Come on.
But it's funny because now like I talk about tax breaks and, front end and back end percentages and all these other different things that I've become exposed to through KBD. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so I love rap. I know that my raps aren't the best, but I really do enjoy it. And I've held polls multiple times, like as the company's developed or like as we've launched new products where it's like, hey, nobody in the Mustang market knows who you are. And their first introduction to you is you talking about tax evasion. Do you think they're going to support that? Right. And it's like the Mustang owners,
they have a sense of humor. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But it's like, you got to know your market kind of thing.
Right.
And so I've tried to make polls and like get people's feedback on it. And every time I'm like, you know what, maybe it's time to hang this up and just get into, hey, this car has the following SKU number on it. Call us today, and it's like, it's just not, it doesn't work. And sometimes
it's selfish content. That's why. Yeah. That's what I call it. At least.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, it's like, if I can, at least this is some kind of entertainment for somebody, or it's just, it's people, can you believe this guy is talking about this? Or hey, this guy really thinks he's a rap. Whatever it is, I'm still getting
to selling body kits.
Yeah. Hey, that's cool, man. But you still commented, right? And you mentioned this shit.
Dude, I love that shit.
You still commented.
Hey, thanks for your support.
Yeah. Somebody shared, I posted a picture of a process in R&D, and somebody shared it as like, this fucking guy. And it's like, hey man, thanks for the exposure either way, right? You're still pushing my product for me, regardless of what comment you have, or like, you know, I get hate on Instagram comments all the time or whatever. And I don't delete, I don't block, unless you're just like saying some blatant out of pocket, like, yeah, like ignorant stuff. Okay. It's like, yeah. Or it's like, if it's just something that's like just plain not true, and it's like, this is factually incorrect, then it's like, okay, hold on, I gotta go in and clean this up or reply or whatever it may be, right?
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, so it just started off as, hey, I'm posting these things on my personal page, and the people at the time that were following me on my personal page were people that I grew up with. Yeah. And they knew that, you know, I would go to the studio and just try and make some tracks. And, you know, like, I really try to like pursue that for a solid year, where it's like, hey, maybe I could become a hip hop artist, you know? And it just, every time I say, hey, I think we're going to tone it down, they're like, no. Like, nah, you know, the audience, you guys are like, keep doing it, right? It's like,
it works, man. I don't know. It's every single time you post something, at minimum, you're going to have at least 30 comments. Yeah. I would assume. Yeah. Which is nuts. Especially off just a picture. Yeah. Good luck doing that somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure. And it's, oh shit. I had something. All right, never mind. My bad. I had something, and I just completely blanked right now. Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
My bad. Okay, I got it. And the best part about it is the brand has such a loyal following that even when somebody does comment some out of pocket stuff, or like, you know, people, there's people that have 500 mutual friends, right? And they have that one friend that's like, fuck KBD, right? They have that one friend that's like, man, fuck KBD, fuck Irving, you know, like, fuck everything about it. Yeah. And even though their own friends are like, this ain't it, you know, like this isn't the post, bro. This is it. Like, it's fine. Like, the brand has such a loyal following that I don't even have to go into the comments and correct it.
So good when some dipshit that has never seen my content before comes and comments, and then I'll let it simmer for like 5 minutes before I go back and, like, if I need to reply or whatever, which I have someone that helps me with comments and stuff now, so that's tremendous help. But usually within 5 minutes, I'll come back and all of my subscribers are just fucking wailing on this thing. Yeah. And it's the best feeling ever. You guys rock for that.
Hell yeah. Shout out to y'all, man.
Oh my God. Okay, so in the comment section though, what is one of the most common complaints you would normally get that just doesn't make any sense?
Okay. All right. And we're going to talk about the forbidden subject right now, right? The most common hate comment that I get is, fuck you guys for making reps, right? Support the authentic, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, going back to like the whole caption thing, I wouldn't be making reps if you guys didn't want reps. I wouldn't be making these captions if you guys didn't message me like, haha, that's a funny ass caption, or like, oh man, like, yo, like, you know, I had some dude message me, and he's like, hey man, like, I just want you to know that you inspire me because on one of your captions you talked about all the money you haven't hidden under your mattress yet, right? And it's like that like little stuff like that, like it may seem silly to you or to some people, but for someone else, it's like, yo, that makes sense. Like, why don't I start an S Corp? You know, like why don't I go do this? Or, you know, like whatever kind of impact it has, it still has an impact. But back to the original point at hand, the reps. People hate that it's a replica, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't make reps if you didn't want reps. And here's the thing, you guys will message me and you'll be like, hey, fuck reps, but if you're gonna do reps, rep this kit that I want. You know, and it's like, come
you on. Selfish bitch. Oh my God. I literally had that written down. I was like, I was going to ask it in a way of like, what's the most common complaint you get and why is it about rep kits? Yeah. Because dude, that's so silly to me because it's always someone that has like a bone stock fucking Miata, or like that one dude the other day that had a SC300 and his fiberglass kit was in fucking pieces or was like missing a side skirt or some shit.
You and your girl's kits are both broken right now. Like, get out of my shit.
Dude, come on. There's no way. And you're sitting there bitching about style and everything being real, but I guarantee you, if you asked him if he would run rep wheels, as long as they were, you know, 2-piece or, you know, chrome or whatever, he'd be like, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. It's crazy. And it's like, you know, like I definitely understand. I get it. I really do. And again, if you guys hadn't asked for these kits in poly, I wouldn't have made these kits in poly. And we do try to change it up, right? Like with the Vertex kit for the 350Z, we make it single exhaust on driver's side or passenger side or dual exhaust, like how it came from Vertex. And it's like, hey man, like I'm trying to give you these options so that if you have that big ass Tomei coming out, you don't have a big hole on the other side with nothing on it, right? Like it's like I'm trying to I try to differentiate the product and things like that. Or for a while, we made fenders for the SC, and it's like, hey, we can make them vented or we can make them OEM style. It's like I'm trying to give you guys options, but at the end of the day, you guys want certain kits in poly, and so it's like, okay, well, money talks, bro.
Oh yeah, shit. Come on, bring it on.
It's like, all right, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever decided to make a kit based off of a hate comment because someone told you not to?
No, but I like that's my favorite like little like comeback. It's like you know, the Faction Motorsports out in the East Coast.
Right.
They always talk smack or whatever. And shout out to you guys, man. I know, you know, we know what we talk about in the DMs. I ain't gonna leak it. But in public, right? In public, they always kind of bash us, right? Or it's like, or if a customer posts a picture and the part hasn't fully returned to shape, they'll make a meme out of it and stuff like that, right? And we go back and forth all the time on that. And so I'll joke, like when they're like, oh, hey, we just got this restock of this super rare, awesome kit, don't settle for KBD kind of thing. And I'll go in there, it's like, hey man, I'm gonna make this next, you know, or like, or I'll joke and it's like, hey man, thanks for shipping me out that kit for me to rep. And like, it's just like, you know, it's like, it's all banter at the end of the day.
I love it. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, man, we're just making car parts. This isn't life or death. There's no, like, it's just a bumper, bro. You ain't it's not that deep, you know, like,
yeah, it's not your mom.
Yeah.
It's not your family. Chill out.
Yeah. Supply and demand, man. You can get it from the JDM manufacturer whenever you want, and you'll wait a year and it'll arrive and it'll have a chip and you're gonna be happy with that, and that's fine. And I'm just an option for the other guy. I'm an option for someone that doesn't want to wait a year to make their car look good, or you know, like,
and then explode it on the first track day.
You know, and it's like at the end of the day, like, regardless of it being the same style, I'm still going to beat them. Not just on like, forget about the styling, forget about fitment, forget about any of that. I'm going to win you over with our customer service. I'm going to win you over with my dogs.
Yeah, there you
go. I'm going to like, these guys could offer warranties on their stuff if they wanted. Like, let's be real. You know, they have enough margin on their stuff.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's like they could offer some of the same support that we do.
They could easily make their own kits poly.
You know, not that easy. It's a really difficult process, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. There's ways to make poly kits better than the fiberglass stuff that they're doing. Yeah. So like, I think that's also like a big reason of why I really try to do things to really go out of my way and like show like, hey man, like we care about, we're not just selling to you, right? Like we care about the community, and we, you know, I don't see a lot of different JDM manufacturers sponsoring the local grassroots guys or working with these event series and trying to help them out or covering something, like you said, right? Like, if your dog chewed up your fiberglass kit and it broke, do you think they would take care of you the way we would take care of you? Yeah, you wouldn't even get a message back,
like,
probably.
You know what I mean? So like,
they wouldn't even be able to understand you.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay, well, whenever you are doing these kits and because you got to buy like the actual kit itself to mold it, right?
It depends. Honestly, like we have a massive 3D printer at the shop too.
Oh,
so like
that's right. Okay.
It could
half the time you don't need it.
Yeah. So it's like, just have somebody CAD it up or whatever. And then, just literally 3D print the prototype and work off of that. Right. So it really depends.
So I understand people have been asking for the rep kits, but like, I understand it may not be financially make sense to do it, but do you ever have the idea of doing your own custom kit?
Yeah, all the time. And like I said, I try to work that in by giving people different options with
right.
Even
exhaust openings.
Yeah, with exhaust openings or like with the SC bumpers, right? Like wherever I can try to offer a differentiator to at least make it stand out. We do. So for example, there's an SC bumper that we make and it has like, like the SRT4, how it has like that little cross in the middle of the bumper.
Yeah.
So it has that same shape in the middle. And so it's like, hey, we offer it with the cross, like how the original kit came, or we can delete that for you. And like, it looks bitchin' when you have like a big ass front mount intercooler on there, and it's like, it's a small thing, but it's like, hey, this isn't something that came available as an option. And so it's like, it's not an exact like brand new design, but it's also not something that you could easily purchase before. And we do that with like the Nismo V2. We make like a same thing. We call it just like the intercooler friendly version, right? Where it's like, it's just a big old opening in the middle and there's no bars. There's no like the little area for the tow hook or anything like that. We just chop all that off and it just looks different.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just making the small minor details is honestly what sets any kit apart.
Yeah. Or like another thing.
Tow hook thing for sure.
Yeah. Or like the what's the chassis code? The New Edge kit that we did, right? It's a new style for that car. That style kit. There's nothing else like it for the Mustang market, but it is inspired off of an S14 kit. Yeah. So like things like that, it's like we're making something new, but it's still heavily influenced by something else kind of thing.
Yeah, which is ideally, that's any body kit company ever. Truthfully, like you're gonna, if you want to make a Navin kit, like it's got inspiration from another kit somewhere, whether it's in the smallest detail of just the side skirt or whatever, like it's always inspired by something else. Yeah. So the fact that that's what you're doing and people still want to complain about that is nuts to me. But
it's like wheels, right? It's like, man, dude, there's only so many wheel designs. You still have a round shape with spokes in it. There's really only so much you can do with spoke design while still keeping structural integrity on the wheel. It's the same. It's the same kind of concept. It's like, okay, these works, still look the same as these AMEs. Like it's. But
speaking of wheels, what wheels do you run on your Z?
I am running Heritage wheels.
Heritage, that's right.
My boy Jake, man, he was like 15 minutes. Yeah, his shop is like 15 minutes from my old spot when I lived in California. So it's like I'm gonna support the dudes that support me as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah. Well, I'm a big Kansei guy over here, so
yeah, for sure.
I'm curious because I personally love the Neos on the Z chassis. I didn't really think I would, just based off the pictures of them online. If you were to put Kanseis on your car, which ones would you do? A lot of people have been saying KMPs recently.
I was just gonna say that. I thought it was called like KNS or something, so that's what I was gonna say. I think I'm thinking they make gun parts. KNS Precision is
right.
But yeah, the what's it called?
KMP.
The KMPs.
Yeah. It's actually the one that's on the studio set at home.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
The one right behind me. That's the 15-inch version of the KMP wheel.
Yeah. So those are pretty clean. I like those.
Yeah. I almost got those. I just wish they did chrome in them.
You big chrome guy or what?
Big chrome guy, man, especially for the wheels.
Yeah.
I've never been able to own a set of chrome wheels, and now I finally have. So accomplishments.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that was a little sidetrack.
No, I like it. I like it.
Okay, so actually back on custom kits. If you were to do that, how different of like, you don't have to explain the process again, but like, how different of a process would that be? Would it still be relatively the same? It's 3D print it, mold it, all that?
Yeah, it's about the same process. What we try to do is so the way we do things as far as the design piece, the design aspect is we either scan or just use an actual OEM bumper for the top half, and then whatever style we're trying to make is basically, it's like, okay, we have the file for the top half, so we know this is going to fit like OEM because this is an OEM top.
Yeah, it's got all the mounting points.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, at that point, it's like, okay, what style are we trying to attach to the bottom? Almost like a copy and paste kind of deal, right? It's like, okay, we have the base. Now, do we want it a double step on the flare out? Do we want a single step? Do we want a big lip? Do we want a body line so it looks like the lip is separate? You know, like all that. It's all, that's design, but it's the same as far as the manufacturing process goes.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. The only difference would be, it's like, okay, this is a wide body kit. So it's like, okay, now we have to take a lot of different things into account. But as far as a bumper is a bumper is a bumper. You know,
I'm sure side skirts the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. Then speaking of fenders and stuff, do you ever plan on doing the Z fenders? Since that is, I have to ask.
Well, I have a Z now, so you know, who knows what else is going to come out for that. I was looking at the my A pillars. My A pillars are coming off, and they're is it A pillar? Yeah. Yeah, the A-pillar piece.
You're talking about the outside trim piece?
Yeah, the outside trim piece, dude.
And how much are they used for those, bro? My buddy Brennan, I love you, Brennan, but like I asked him, because he does a lot of Z parts. He just parts out cars and stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, I'm curious, because you know my Lambo doors just kind of fucked one of mine up.
Yeah.
Like, how much are they now? Yeah. He's like, you don't want them.
Yeah.
I was like, why? He was like, just trust me, you don't want them. And I was like, just give me the price. It was like $300.
Used.
What the fuck?
Used,
no
bro.
clear coat on them, like shitty as fucking paint. I'm like, dude, no way they're $300.
So again, right, like going back to like KBD and like the kits we originally made was like, oh, I want it, so I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, like my little trim pieces are all messed up, so maybe I make these. You know, I look at the used price. I'm like, shit, I could sell the pair new for less than that. You know, so it's like,
dude, that would be a banger market to tap into.
Yeah,
especially if you can make them out of poly.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
Yeah. So, So as far as the fenders go, I'm not 100% sure yet because, you know, he changed his name recently, but from CCC to Hyperhive.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the boy, you know. It's hard because like I don't want to compete with the homies.
That's fair.
So
because that is like the best style over fender for the Z too.
Like I got him on my Z, you know. So it's like there's certain things where it's like I don't have any connection. I'm not related to anybody in Japan or anything like that. So it's like there's less of that.
I need to hit them up actually.
Japan?
No, Hyperhive.
Yeah.
I need some of those overs. Because, like, I got the FDF kit, the Mega Mantis, and I've almost got it to fit, and the factory fenders rolled like a motherfucker, but almost got it to fit. It's just not where I want it to be.
So you have the Mantis on your
G? The Mega Mantis. So I got the big angle kit. So it's like, you know, makes your wheels stick out.
Yeah,
and like, everyone complains about that. You have to run over fenders. I was like, no, you don't. There's no way. Yeah. You can figure it out. And I've got it literally, dude. I mean, I'm like half an inch from getting the tire underneath.
What kind of specs though? You're probably in like a friggin' 7-inch wide plus 48 or something.
No, I always run by 9 up front.
Yeah.
So I have in the Neos, the 18 by 9 plus 22 up front.
And they clear?
Dude, well, with the new version of the knuckle, it's got more of an arch to it.
Okay.
So you have like half an inch more room back there to sink a wheel back in. So with the 22 offset and no spacer up front, you have like 1/4 of an inch till you hit the knuckle, and it's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have PBM on mine.
Yeah.
And it's a cool kit, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to change it up. So
yeah.
I've
heard too many weird stories about PBM, especially for the Z's.
Yeah. Well, the Z that I got is like, it's been kind of passed around out here, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like I got it for a deal, and it basically was like, it was like a drift week car kind of thing, you know. So it's like, it's got a certain, it's done drift week, so it's like, okay, it's already got the hydro, and it's, you know, it's got all the solid bushings and like miscellaneous little things. It's like, okay, well, at least this is a good starter platform for me to learn to drift in. But yeah, my boy Adam, he's working on the car, and he's just sending me pictures of like all these fractures on the PBM kit. It's like, hey man, like you can run this, but you know, like it's better for you to swap it out before something else, you know, before it really goes bad on you. I'm like, all right, so I'll probably have to get another Ango kit soon.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's talk about sponsorships. This is a big one. The big one.
Yeah.
Right. So, first question: how many do you get on a weekly basis? Do you think?
On a weekly basis, I would say a minimum of. Well, okay. Just like I guess it depends on what level of quality of sponsorship requests I get, right? Because I get, as far as sponsor me with the little emoji, you know, like that as far as that goes, oh man, 50 plus every week.
Oh my God,
easily. You know what I mean? I've had
Discord one from the other day.
Bro. I'm just playing
for a loop, dude. Dog.
I'm on Assetto, and it's like at KBD, like sponsor my E46. It's like, bro, can I just get on the sim for a little bit?
Right. Learn from the story earlier with Forza. They actually brought some proof to it in the game.
Yeah. So as far as that goes, as far as like just in general DMs, I would say 50 plus every week. And it's just like, some of them are just like, did you put any effort at all into this? It's like, bro,
absolutely not.
I get people like, hey man, you want to sponsor my car? And I go on their page, and it's like, bro, we don't make anything for your car. Like, what do you want us to sponsor you? You know,
dude, that's a horrible first impression, because that shows you right there. You don't know a flying fucking thing about any nothing. Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I would say I get, as far as like an actual proposal, and this is how bad it is, right? I probably get an actual, like, okay, somebody put this into a PDF file, or give me a Microsoft Word file, but with a rundown of your accomplishments or what you can do for me, right?
Right.
I get maybe 20 a year for that. So 50 a week DMs.
Just nonsense.
20 a year actual. Okay, this is a fleshed out deck. This is a program, that's right? Nice. This isn't just a car. Yeah. This is a program. So
wow, I did not expect that low of a number, dude. Holy shit,
brutal, bro. And you know, I know, like I make like the sponsor me, bruh posts. You know, just kind of making fun of that.
That was the next thing I was gonna bring up.
I really like, those are just like the blatant ones, but I'll stop them. Like if somebody's like, okay, they don't have a sponsorship deck, they don't know what a proposal is or anything like that, I'll stop and I'll tell them like, okay, tell me why I should give you $1,500 worth of product when I could give Google $1,500, and they're going to give me all the data that comes with it. They're going to give me the return on ad spend. How much am I getting per penny that I spend in return, right?
Right.
So tell me how you can beat Google. And if you can, beat Google, hit me up. Let's work. If you can beat Google, then I can give you parts. I can give you.
Not that hard, actually.
Like it's not, but you got to have an idea. You got to have a strategy. You got to have a plan, right? Like just come up with a plan. There's so many different things that you can offer that doesn't have to be followers. I hate that people think you have to have followers to get sponsored, and that's not it at all. If you can tell me how you can beat Google in helping me branch into a new market, right? Helping me branch into a segment that I don't currently have anything in, we could work, right? If you have this crazy idea where you have this plan of attack on how you're gonna present our product in a different way, right? Like, okay, you're gonna make an unboxing video. I get tags on that every single day. Like what makes you unique, right? Because if it's something like that, I could just give a kit to my boy. It's like, hey man, take a video real quick unboxing it. Take a video of it unfolding in your driveway. And I'm not saying that I'm unappreciative that you guys tag me in that stuff, because I love it. I really do. But that's not a good enough reason for me to send you free stuff or give you cash.
Right.
You know? Yeah. And like you said, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. And it doesn't have to even be, hey, give me $1,500 worth of product and I'll give you $5,000 in sales, right? It doesn't have to be that. It can be, I'm going to enter into I'm going to, you know, present you to a different market, or I am competing in this international drift series that, you know, the KBD doesn't have a lot of exposure in. I'm going to go there. Here's my plan. Here's my flight times. Here's, you know, when I'm going to be there, who I'm going to be dealing with. That's something, right? Or like, hey man, I've got a podcast and I can present your product to a different audience.
Yep.
You know, I've got a podcast that I can use to present your products, and I can interview people, and I can keep your name in the spotlight. Yeah, let's do something. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways
and
to do it.
And just to preface that, I had no fucking clue what I was doing. I started all like my proposal and deck and stuff. I had never seen another person's deck. I had never seen another person, which I do proposal videos and stuff too, which we can talk about that. But I literally had no clue. I had never seen anyone else's deck. I was solely going off of what I thought was valuable based off of what I've taught myself doing all of this. So when I say it's not that hard, it's really not that hard. And especially with Canva. Like, have you ever played around with Canva?
No, I haven't.
Dude, there's literally thousands upon thousands of like proposal templates, like business proposals that you can kind of manipulate. Yeah. It's literally what I did. I changed the shit out of mine just because I know how to do some graphic design work. But like, that's literally all it is. And it's more or less templated for you as far as category wise, like to where you just plug stuff in if you really don't know what you're doing. Yeah. So it's all too easy now, which is absurd that you still only get 20 a year. It blows my mind.
Yeah. And it's funny because, you know, there's also like use ChatGPT to your advantage. I would definitely recommend that, but don't just copy and paste it and send it to me. Like, because I can tell, right? All these companies can tell.
He said it. He uses ChatGPT.
Yeah.
He knows.
So, I can tell, bro. I can tell that you took, you know, and I don't care that you use ChatGPT, but when you just copy and paste it and it's like, you can present this to this company by saying the following. And it's like, bro, you couldn't at least like...
Didn't even take that part out.
You just...
You shot yourself in the foot so
paste,
easily.
Done deal, right?
Yeah.
So there's so many different tools, and you, like you said, you are the differentiator. If you're just gonna, there's your experiences and your outlets are what make you unique. Otherwise, I can, like I said, I'll just hit up my boy and hook him up with a kit, and we'll be boys and we'll be drinking, and I can tell him exactly what content to make, or why I got the Z now.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, nobody is going to sell my product better than I will. Yeah, right. So I could spend thousands of dollars in trying to get somebody else to do it. Or if I have this idea, I can do it myself. I can livery my own car. You know, like my logo on your car is really not that important.
It's not.
You know,
that's like the last thing I mention. Literally, half the time I don't even mention it because nobody really cares.
That's a given. That should be.
Once I have everything finalized, I'm like, oh, by the way, send me a media pack so I can have the AI logos and stuff.
Yeah. Or like, even like, for example, my boy Max, right? My boy Max made me the little KBD light up box that I was telling you about, or he made me some 3D printed KBD keychains, and out of his own volition, when he goes to the track, he takes all these prints that he made and just gives them out for me. And I didn't ask him for it. I didn't anything, right? And like those little things like that, that's a differentiator. And it's not that it's complicated. You know, just load up the file.
It costed him a few bucks, maybe. That was
but it's something that makes him stand out.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all it is tell me how you can stand out and how you can do something that I'm not going to be able to do myself, or that I'm not going to want to go out and do myself.
Right. He actually gave me a couple of those when I was over there. Yeah. It was just of his wolf pack logo.
Okay.
But yeah, those things are actually cool.
Yeah.
And actually, do you think a lot of these people that give like the lousy proposals, do you think some of them do it on purpose just so you'll like blast them a little bit?
So some people do, and like I can usually tell. I can usually tell just because it's like, okay, they already follow me, you know, or I've been following them. I'll scroll up and it's like, oh, you've been following this page since 2019, and it's like, okay, so they've been around. They know the MO.
Yeah,
you know,
just messing with you a little bit.
Yeah. So and that's fine. Like it's all good. You know, but I genuinely think a lot of these people wake up, or they're, you know, the henny's in the system, and they're like, you know what, I'm going to reach out to 20 companies right now. I'm just going to copy and paste the same thing on Instagram. And it takes so little effort that they don't see the issue that it took so little effort. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
For them, it's like, I'm just going to throw a bunch of shit at the wall and see what sticks. And if nothing sticks, oh, well.
Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
dweeb.
Yeah.
Anyways, like I had said, the whole video proposal thing, I do that and I preach that shit so much. Because like, even if you don't have the most valuable thing to offer, but you are still sending a deck along, like, don't just send a proposal video. That's stupid. But if you're sending a deck along with a proposal video, there may not be the most valuable stuff in that deck, but you're showing effort with the video, if that makes sense. Especially if you're not just setting up a camera and just talking directly to it. You actually put some effort into it, throw some editing in there, and actually show some type of sample of what they possibly could get. Yep. So that's always been a big thing that I learned, not even in the car industry. I took that from SMMA marketing, which is social media marketing. Yeah. A lot of times if I'm reaching out to, you know, cold emailing somebody or something, never talked to them before, hey, just shooting them a quick video, introducing myself. That way it puts a face with a name. And I was like, you know, I think that would work tremendously well as far as sponsorships go, because you're almost playing the same thing. You're just trying to sell yourself instead of a service. Yeah. Yeah. Well, which I guess it is kind of a service too. Yeah, but
absolutely it is. It is a transaction. Yeah. I am giving you this, and in return, you are giving me this much value. And it always, people really, I feel like sponsorships are misunderstood, because I'm not giving you $1,000, whether it's cash or product, and expecting $1,000 back. Mm-hmm. I'm not.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's just, you are working for me.
Right.
You know, and the video idea, I think is fantastic, because it's almost like kind of what SEMA was originally for, right? It was for companies and manufacturers and people in the industry to go in, shake hands, get a feel for each other. And you can do all that through an email if you include
personable interaction.
Yeah. And I think also a lot of people misunderstand the idea of a proposal or a deck and think that it's like, hey, this is the one time, and this in return for as a reply to this email, I should get an offer. And it's like, man, like that's just supposed to be a way for you to open up the communication with the people.
Yeah, you're lucky if you get a response.
Yeah. So I think the people also like really misunderstand that. Like, it's like, hey, you should have an idea of what you can offer them, and then get into conversations of what you want in return.
Right. So, well, let's on the other end of that, because I was actually just talking to a buddy of mine that they just built a track out in Alabama. I don't know if you've probably heard about it on the podcast, Driven Luck Circuit. Yeah. Okay. So my buddy Coy and Caden and his whole family dropped their entire lives, built a track on a piece of land they bought, and like it's moving. Like it's actually doing pretty
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
And like I'm trying to like work with him to bring in more sponsorships himself and for his whole family and everything. Cause like they've already lined the track with fencing. I'm like, dude, there's no logos on the fence. Why? Yeah. What are you're bullshitting. Yeah. You're missing out on opportunities. And like his biggest gripe is that I just hate asking for shit. Like I hate being that guy. And I sit there and like, I'm that person too. So I try to explain to him like, look, don't look at it that way. Look at it purely as you're giving a service they're giving either product or monetary value. Either one has a dollar value that you could place on it. So in turn, you're not getting anything free. You still got to do the trick. You got to do the job.
Absolutely.
So it's literally just like any other job, but you're doing a service either for free product or money up front, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So what do you say to those people that are just simply too afraid to ask for anything?
Oh man, that's tough. Because of like my upbringing and my background, that's just never really been a thing that I've encountered. Like, you know, like where I come from, like you got to be outspoken and you got to speak up, or you're gonna, like it's more severe consequences than just, okay, I didn't get what I wanted kind of thing.
Right.
But I would say you have to realize that, like you're saying, right? You're not asking for anything. You're selling something. You're selling your space to a very targeted audience, right? Facebook ads, they just kind of, for the most part, you just throw a Facebook ad in the air and it's like, hey, I'm paying this much per day to run this ad and hope that it lands on the right people, right? You can target it, but there's only so much you can do, right? Like one of my biggest pet peeves is I target myself in ads. So like when I'll be doing things like KBD ad comes up, I'm like, no, don't, I'm not, like that's costing me money to present to myself, right? But when you have, whether you're a track owner or you're just hosting events, or you're hosting car meets, or even, honestly, like the smallest things can mean a lot to different people, right? Like if you make a set of tracks and you can throw a KBD logo on there, like I would pay for that. And that's a virtual thing, right? Yeah. But to me, it's like, hey, these people are practicing how to drift and they're going to see my brand on there, and that's who I want to sell to. So it's like when you're offering such a targeted, a niche audience, that's worth a lot. And so that personally,
that'd be good content, actually.
Yeah.
Like if you out there build a set of tracks and stuff like that, and you wanted to start a YouTube channel, dude, figure out how to pan back and forth from the computer screen to you, and like discuss every incremental thing going on.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And then on the back of that content, you could sell, like you said,
sell the space.
Sell the space inside the video game, because people are gonna, and then you could fucking sell the map. You could sell the track online. You could, dude. Sims are going to be an insane endeavor for careers, I think, that nobody has absolutely touched at all other than just building them.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's like how MySpace kind of made coders out of all of us, right? Just trying to play with the backgrounds and change it up. And it's like that made us a lot more tech savvy than we realized.
Yeah.
So same thing with the Sim stuff, and just people get in there and it's like, okay, yeah, you're using the Gravy Garage car file pack or whatever, but you're still modifying it. Like that's still a skill that you're picking up. But back to the track thing, for me, I would much rather work with someone that hosts events or that owns a track than trying to sponsor one individual person and hoping that they're going to capture that audience, right? Again, if let's say I sponsor Adam LZ, I have to hope that, well, that's a bad example because that boy's doing it.
It's just going to show up on the screen once and you're good.
But, I have to hope that the right person sees it. Whereas if I'm sponsoring Lone Star Drift, right? I know the people that are driving this event are my target audience. Or if they're Driven Luck, right? It's like, I know that these people are into their life. This is something that caters to them.
Yeah.
So I would rather work with someone like that. And it's also like, hey, I know on your back end of things, it's a business for you. So you understand why I value certain things, or why, like you understand that you're going to be held accountable to it versus, hey, I have 100,000 followers on YouTube. Can you please hook it up? And it's like, okay. And then it's like, there's no structure behind a lot of that.
Don't ever say hook it up. Please don't. Literally, the first question I ask is, how can I best help you hit your marketing goal this year?
Yeah.
With what I'm doing. Like that's really all you or any other business owner cares about.
See, and to me, and I'll be honest, like I don't have like a business degree or anything like that, right? So for me, it's very difficult when someone asks me that, because it's like, for the way I see things, it's like, well, I don't know. And if I had an idea, again, like with the body kit thing, if I had an idea of something, then I would probably just try and do it myself. Whereas like with your video that you sent me, it's like, okay, this guy knows how to present it. He knows how to cut and frame. He knows how to do certain things that I don't have the time or will, like, I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah. Which so actually, looking back on it, that was a very diluted version of my editing style.
Really?
It's nowhere near where I'm at now, which I have an editor too now. So, and he's way better than me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Interesting topics. I like that. All right. Well, I guess we'll jump off the sponsorship stuff. Where do you see KBD going as of right now for the future?
Oh man, if we can get this R&D time frame down, I mean, that's really like all of our efforts are going towards that, right? It's towards getting as much new product out as possible in as little time as possible. And if we can do that, then, excuse me, sorry about that. And if we can do that, then really the sky's the limit for us, right? Because there's so many different chassis that we don't offer anything for that I know we could. But again, it's like I have to pick between the C6 or do I want to do an FRS kit? You know? So if I didn't have to pick, then it's like, okay, now I can make all these chassis. And like, I know that there's, you know, we're lacking in certain markets. It's just, we can only make so much in so much time. Of course. So yeah, I mean, for me, KBD is forever going to be in the drift space. And obviously, like, we do other stuff. We do like off-road with the Jeep flares. We've done some private label stuff for like the side-by-side market. So there's always different areas that we're going to tackle. And we make like lowrider truck roll pans, right? And like different things like that is still automotive and there's still a niche for it, but it's also not where my passions lie.
Right.
And so we will forever be intertwined with the drift community, and we're just going to make more products for more chassis. And I'm hoping one day we can not be behind the 8 ball on it, where it's like, okay, we made E46 kits, but we launched them and it's like, okay, well, everybody's moving on from the E46 market now. And now everybody's using, you know, a C5 or a C6 because it's like, okay, well, it's already LS, right? Like, you don't got to worry about it, whatever.
Chicos.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm hoping one day we instead of, and we're kind of doing it already with like the new Mustang stuff, where it's like people are telling me they're gonna go buy a Mustang to get the kit, versus we're just selling to the people that already have the cars, if that makes sense.
Right. Which actually I've been seeing a shit ton more Mustangs getting in. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm revolved around them a lot. Yeah. Because I do Scotty D's media and stuff. Okay. So literally all they drive is Mustangs and Ford shit. But I am consistently seeing more and more people, not only in the comments, but at events, like picking up Mustang chassis. Yeah. And usually it's the S197. Yeah. But
so I feel like we're on track with those projects. But yeah, I mean, I just want to not be behind anymore.
Yeah. So, well, I will say if you ever run into the FC market booming for some ungodly reason, I don't ever see that happening ever again. But I do have a FC just sitting in my driveway that you're happy to have as long as you need. There we go. Awesome. I won't bitch at you one bit. All right. Well, let's move on to the last questions we got. So I've been doing the Injuku like parts to get you to your first track day, stuff like that. Now you've already kind of gone through that, so this is realistically perfect. So you have a bone stock version of your car. You have the tires, $3,000 to spend at Injuku. What parts are you going to prioritize to get to that very first track day? Oof. Now, you may have gone a little extra whenever you first did it, but you also got to feel a lot of the stuff that was important.
Oh, that's a tough one. Honestly, a lot of the stuff I feel like should be more maintenance wise. Like get a better radiator, get some good fans, get some kind of heat shielding or ducting or something like that. I don't think now the car that I got came with a bunch of drift mods, right?
Right.
But now I'm still fighting a lot of these things that are kind of neglected because everybody is like angle kit, handbrake, tires, whatever. And it's like, man, like I want to be able to hot lap all day and not have to worry about overheating or anything like that. Right. So I would say like a aftermarket radiator, aftermarket thermostat.
Just take it out.
Or take it out. And then, maintenance stuff, man. I really think maintenance stuff and just get as much seat time as possible. I've tried not using my handbrake at all whatsoever, and I've been doing just fine without it. Now I'm starting to like incorporate it to like carry a little more speed and be able to like slow down before the turn and all that stuff. Yeah. But like you don't need a handbrake. I really don't think you need an angle kit. I really think you just need maintenance parts and seat time.
Hell yeah. So well, that's a good approach to that. Yeah, I like that.
I don't know if that answered the question perfectly.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Well, okay, then I want to throw another one out there actually. Okay. Since you did start off with a lot of drift parts already on the car, which one has, besides cooling mods, which one has stood out the most to help you improve your driving skill that you could easily find at Injuku?
Do they carry VR1?
Well, that's a different approach. Wait, actually, I think they do.
Yeah, I mean, VR1 for me made a big difference. I mean, Z's.
Yeah.
Z's and oil consumption and all that stuff. So VR1 made a big difference. I did notice it helped with the overheating. I noticed less burning oil.
Right. That's what I run in the RB now. So, yeah.
Yeah. So VR1 and then...
let's go with an actual mod, like an actual part. Because to me, dude, I will say a fucking bucket seat is like the most important thing about a drift car.
Yes, you are 1,000% correct. So the car I got, like I said, it had the angle kit, it had the e-brake, it had solid everything. It had an aftermarket clutch. It had everything like a good platform for drifting.
Right.
Except when I would drift, I would have to take my hand and I would brace myself against the door and then go to the other way and brace myself, And so I'm like, there's a video.
You flying around the inside of the car.
Yeah. And I'm literally I'm gangster driving the Z because I'm having to push my body outward against the car so that I'm like still staying in my seat, and it had some like cheapo, like it was aftermarket seats. It was like Curbos or something. Yeah. But yes, good point. I bought a Sparco seat, Sparco harnesses, and I just cinched them down till it hurt. And man, that made a world of difference because now it's just I'm just focusing on trying to look into the next corner and just drive, right? Oh yeah. So the seat thing made a big difference, and then the brackets as well, like getting the right placement. I tried to like ghetto rig it the first time because I was like, oh man, this seat's $1,000.
My passenger rails are factory rails, just made work. I don't care. You don't have to do nothing over there in the passenger seat. Now mine is an actual made for the car frame, and then I actually put sliders in it just because I enjoy having sliders. But they ain't fancy. Trust me. Which actually I just got some 3 NRG sliders from a buddy that was like, I'm never gonna use these. I was like, I'll take them.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm short, so I need the extra height anyways.
yeah, I feel that. Yeah, and I did the same thing, right? I got the Sparco seat. I got the 6-point Sparco harnesses.
Yeah.
But my passenger side's got like the old Curbo and some NRG 4 points, and it's like, hey man, you get in here at your own risk.
yeah, literally. Yeah, I just put a harness bar and some Brom harnesses in there, and just on the driver's side right now, I don't even have the passenger seat in there or anything. But dude, just buckling myself up, and it was a 5-point, but I don't like the crotch.
Really?
One. Fuck no, that shit bothers the piss out of me.
Yeah.
So I only do the 4-point. And as soon as I put that on and tightened it down, I was
tightening it down, dog.
Yo, this is different. And I didn't even pull out of the driveway, dude. Like I haven't even driven the car, and I could already feel like how secured I was, which is nuts.
Yeah. You know what else too? The steering wheel. When I got the car, it had like a leather Sparko, and it was cool, but it just, I guess for like my driving style or technique, it didn't really work out. So hit up Grip Royal. Got a Grip Royal steering wheel, the suede, nice, smooth. It doesn't callous my fingers. I was like,
oh yeah, don't miss out on these puppies, dude. These are the best.
Yeah. So the Grip Royal is like it's not a suede. It's like their synthetic suede or something that I got, and that made a world of difference. And also gloves. I'm one of the glove guys.
I am too.
Are you?
Driving shoes too. Have you tried driving shoes?
Nah, man. I gotta have the J's on at all times,
dude.
I gotta have the J's on.
I'm telling you, man. The day that I bought some just for the fuck of it, because Bridgemoto was at Clutch Kickers in Holt, Florida, and I was like, $100 for some driving shoes. I was making good money at the time. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, let's do it. They look cool as shit. And then I hopped on track with those things on, and I was like, this is a game changer.
Yeah.
Because like, especially in Jordans, dude, soles are thick. Yeah. Vans, soles are super fucking thick. Yeah. So in Vans, I don't understand how people drive in them, because I can't feel the pedals like hardly at all. But dude, as soon as I put driving shoes on, it's got that thin ass piece of fucking cardboard or whatever the hell at the bottom. You feel every bit of feedback in the pedal. It's amazing.
Maybe it's because I'm in a stock DE, right? So my throttle is 100%. 100% of the time. Like there's no, there is really not a lot of throttle modulating that I have to do unless I'm like, I entered shallow and I got to kind of grip up a little bit, whatever it may be. So I'm just rocking J's all the time, and just peg the throttle, and that's it. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I guess let's do your best piece of advice for anyone just getting into drifting.
Oh, well, that's me. For anyone getting into drifting, air up your tire pressure. It's going to make a world of difference, dude.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Air up your tire pressure until you get it going and kind of feel what it feels like to be in drift. And I know tires are expensive, but whatever tire you pick, stick to it. Like if you're going to run Kendas, stick to the Kendas. If you're going to run Velinos, stick to the Velinos. And that way you always know that whatever happened differently because of your driver input versus having to figure out, oh man, like is it the tire that's breaking traction, or is it, something that I'm doing? Am I understeering because of the tire, or am I understeering because of my initiation or anything like that? Consistency is going to be the most important thing in my opinion is the consistency. If I know that if I clutch kick here, the car is going to do the same thing every single time because it's on the same tire every single time, versus, okay, this tire is way slipperier, and now I'm doing a friggin' 360 off the track because
this one's 180 tread and this one's 200 tread wear, 300 tread wear. It's like that's a whole different compound difference. Grip level, all of the above. Tire life. So that's a good one.
I think airing up your tires so it's a little easier and less frustrating to learn in, and then sticking to the same tire.
Add to that, don't worry about having a ton of tires at your first event either. You won't go through that many.
Bro, okay. So I've done 5 drift weekends so far. And I have gone through 1.5 pairs.
Told you.
And granted, I know it's because I'm not in drift enough, or I'm still working my way through it.
But that's the point. Because like anyone that's just starting out, they're not going to be able to link the track, especially full fucking throttle, where they're roasting every bit of the tire they can. So bring maybe an extra scrub pair if you want, but you're not going to touch them. I guarantee it. So that's a good way to go for best advice. All right. Well, let's do what if you could speak to the entire world, what would your one message be?
Follow the money, man.
Hey. Hustler's gotta eat, dog.
Yeah, man. Honestly, if I was speaking to the whole world and I had to give like one piece of like advice, I guess, is don't worry about how you're gonna do it. Just do it. Like just get out there and do it, and you'll figure it out, right?
Yep.
I'm a big believer that even if you've got no clue, once you've put yourself in that position where it's like now you're vulnerable, and now it's like, okay, I just went negative in my bank account because I started this brand or this thing that I'm gonna do. It's like, well, you still have responsibilities, right? You still have bills to pay. You still gotta eat.
Yep.
So once you put yourself in that uncomfortable position, chances are you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna figure out how to get even on it. Yep.
Oh yeah.
So just go do it and figure out how you're gonna make it work later.
I like that. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, if you want, plug yourself, plug your people, anything like that.
Yeah. So follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at KBD Body Kits. I want to say shout out to myself. No, shout out to special shout out to the Texas homies. Since I've lived here, they've been super supportive, super embracing. And so shout out to y'all for making me feel at home.
Fuck yeah. Dude, I'll be honest, Texas is the move. Yeah. I fucking love it out here.
Really?
This is my second time being here as like an adult, and it's got me highly contemplating moving out here.
It's cheap to live here, bro.
Well, Tennessee's pretty cheap too, so it's kind of like I don't have that to play off of. I got no state income tax and stuff in Tennessee, which I don't think there is here, right? There's no.
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So it's. Yeah. Anyways, especially with everything going on in the world right now, Texas, shout out to you. I hate this planet now. God, people are so stupid.
That's like a grim turn right there.
Yeah, well, that's it's at the end of the podcast, so if you're listening, you got a little Easter egg there. But all right, well, yeah, that's pretty much all we got for this one.
Sweet.
So again, I appreciate you coming on and letting me come in, invade your house a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, well. Look well the video. Make sure that you got that subscribe button pressed. And if you haven't grabbed any of the merch, grab it. If you can't,
these are fire.
Yeah, dude, they're $30 fucking at full price. That's full price, $30. Yeah. So if you do want to enter into that giveaway, if you don't want to pay for them, just drop a comment, like the video, and that'll be till the end of March. And season is here. Literally, season's almost here. Yes, so if you are a company or a big driver out there trying to organize your media, get all that sorted out, hit me up. That's what I do on my day job. So let me help you out. Get your content organized so that you're constantly posting when you should be.
Oh yeah,
super easy. But yeah, that's all we got. So I appreciate it. We'll see you each and every Sunday for a new episode. Thanks. Peace.
The ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no feelings. I've been taking long flights from the Bay to Ibiza. Hit home runs, I'm a ball like Jeter. I just want fuck, then I leave. I'm a young pop star, call the boy Justin Bieber. Got a little money if you want.